we're going to talk about font families. So I have a sample page set up. It just has a paragraph and one single heading. Over here's the HTML for the page. We are going to start, well, let's look at the page by default. So what this font here has those little trailing pieces, right? Those little decorative pieces. So it's a serif font. By default, every browser will have default fonts built into it for what it's going to use. Remember, there's CSS. If we don't have a CSS file specified or some setting is not there, it uses whatever is default for the web browser. So this is the default font for Google Chrome. How do we set our font ourselves? So let's try this. Let's change the font for the heading. So I am going to go to H1 here, and I am going to say font family. And then we are going to specify, let's do Veranda. Geneva, and I'll explain how these work in a second. Geneva. Helvetica. So if you look these up, if you take a look at them in Microsoft Word or something, you'll see these are all sans serif fonts. Should do it. Refresh my page, and now you'll see that I have a sans serif font here. Now I specified several different fonts, including a generic one. So the way the font family works is that we set the font family for an element, and the first thing it's going to do is look at and see if the Veranda font is available to the user on that computer. If it is, then it uses Veranda. If it doesn't have that, then it's going to try Geneva. And if it doesn't have Geneva, it will try Helvetica. And if it doesn't have that, it's going to use a generic sans serif font. Again, we always don't get exactly what we want with a web page. HTML was designed to give us close, but it's not going to be. We shouldn't ever want to make everything exact. It's designed to be small and portable, and there are ways we can make sure the fonts actually are there on the computers by including them in files on our page. It's a little bit more advanced topic, but in general, you just specify the font family in several different choices, and it will substitute the first font that it finds. And if it doesn't find any of them, as long as you use the generic one at the end, it will use whatever generic sans serif font, in this case, it is included with the computer. Okay, I want to go, let's take this same font family and apply it to the paragraph. I'll save that, come over here and refresh, and you see it changed the paragraph as well. But what if, put it on the body. So this H1 and this paragraph are both inside the body. And it still kept the setting. So I can specify the font family at the body. It will change the entire document. I can specify font families for just the heading, font family for just the paragraphs. I could set font families on different IDs or different classes, and they would all work. Let's go ahead and do, I can do this real quick. I'll do my famous warning. Don't ever do this. So let's go ahead and do it and get it out of our system now. Comic Sans MS. That's a Microsoft font. Cursive is the generic version of that. Change our paragraph to that. Okay. So anything that doesn't, so if I put it on the body, anything within the body will have these sans serif fonts. If I specify it for the paragraph gets it from the closest. Paragraph formatting is the closest tag, so it's that. Body tag is further out, so it gets overridden in the paragraph. That's a terrible font. Don't ever do that.